It's 1:14 a.m. Your room is pitch black. You're finally drifting off to sleep when your phone suddenly violently lights up the darkness with a harsh red glow. It's them. They just sent a massive, passive-aggressive wall of text, twisting a completely innocent conversation from 3 days ago into a massive betrayal. Instantly, your heart rate explodes. That familiar sick knot twists in your stomach. You sit up in the dark, your hands actually shaking as you furiously type out a massive paragraph to defend your character. Then you delete it. You rewrite it. And the entire time, miles away, they are lying comfortably in bed, smiling as they watch your little typing bubble appear, disappear, and reappear. They are literally feeding off your desperate, frantic energy. Listen to me very carefully. You think you are trying to fix a misunderstanding. You are not. You are dealing with an emotional vampire who is intentionally triggering you for sport. If you want me to break down your specific case, write it in the comments. But today, I am giving you the ultimate lazy magic pill to destroy the midnight rage text. It's a dark psychology counterattack called the Gray Shadow. You don't need to play games. In fact, this technique requires you to be incredibly lazy. You will do absolutely nothing. But you will do that nothing very strategically. You will watch them starve while you effortlessly regain total control. And pay close attention. At the very end of this video, I will reveal the absolute most powerful, mind-blowing psychological secret of all. You must watch until the very end to get this ultimate weapon, or you will remain their victim forever. Why do they always text you late at night? It's not a coincidence. It is a calculated biological trap. When you are exhausted, your prefrontal cortex, the logical, reasoning part of your brain, shuts down completely. Your emotional defenses are at absolute zero. They strike exactly when you are weakest because they know you won't think straight. You won't ignore it. You will just react. When you read their twisted message, your brain instantly goes into survival mode. You think to yourself, if I just explain what really happened, they will understand, and we can finally go to sleep. You think you are fixing a simple misunderstanding, but you are completely wrong, because what they are doing on the other side of that screen is something entirely different. Let me show you. You're dealing with a person who runs on something psychologists call narcissistic supply. They don't want peace. They don't want a resolution. They want your emotional temperature to spike. Just like a vampire needs blood to survive, this person needs your anxiety, your anger, and your panic to feel powerful. Your pain is literally their food. When you start frantically typing out that response, those 3 little dots appear on their screen. And I need you to understand this sick truth. Watching your typing bubble appear, disappear, and reappear gives them a massive hit of dopamine. They are getting high off the fact that they can control your emotions from miles away with a single text. So, what do? You hit send on a massive 500-word paragraph. It's a perfectly logical defense. You laid out all the facts, the timelines, and your true feelings. You think this will finally shut them up and prove you are right. But congratulations, you just served an emotional vampire a 4-course meal. Sending a long emotional text is the absolute worst mistake you can make, because here is exactly what they will do next. They will completely ignore your logic. Instead, they will screenshot your massive emotional paragraph, send it to their friends, and reply back to you saying, "Wow, you are acting crazy right now." They provoked you in the dark, and now they get to play the innocent victim while you feel completely insane. It makes you want to throw your phone straight at the wall. But how do you starve a vampire? You must use the Gray Shadow. Think about it. If a vampire bites a rock, they break their teeth and get no blood. If they try to attack a shadow, they punch empty air. To defeat this person, you must become a psychological void. You must become so unbelievably boring and uninteresting that they physically cannot feed on you anymore. Rule number 1 of the gray shadow is erasing your emotional signature. You must strip every single ounce of personality, anger, and sadness from your texts. No emojis, no exclamation points. You are becoming a complete void. Vampires thrive on chaos, drama, and unpredictability. But when you become perfectly predictable and endlessly boring, their brain actually registers it as a lack of oxygen. They need the roller coaster of your emotions to survive. If you flatline, they start to suffocate. Now it is time to arm yourself. Your new weapon is the one-word shield. From this moment on, you will never justify, argue, defend, or explain yourself to them again. If they text you 5 massive paragraphs of pure venom at 1 a.m., you will only give them back one single word. Your first shield word is understood. This word is absolutely devastating to a narcissist. It acknowledges that you received their message, which means they cannot accuse you of ignoring them, but it offers absolutely zero emotional entry point. It is a total dead end. Your second shield word is This is the ultimate dismissal. It sounds incredibly lazy, casual, and entirely unfazed. It completely robs them of their sense of importance. They want to be a powerful god who controls your world and treats them like a toddler throwing a tantrum at the grocery store. Your third shield word is perhaps or maybe. This is the fog tactic. When they try to bait you into an argument by throwing false accusations, you don't fight back. You just agree with the possibility. You become a thick fog. When they punch the fog, they just hit empty air. Let's look at exactly how this plays out in real life. Scenario A, the passive-aggressive guilt trip. It's 1 a.m. and they text you, "I guess I mean nothing to you after all we've been through." Your heart rate spikes. You desperately want to reply and prove that you do care. But stop. Do not type that paragraph. You simply reply, "Understood," and then you put the phone face down. That's it. No apology, no explanation. You just gave them a brick wall. They are sitting in the dark, staring at that single word, entirely powerless. Now for scenario B, the gaslighting attack. They text you, "I literally never said that. Your memory is so messed up. You are acting crazy again." Your blood boils. You immediately want to dig up old screenshots to prove you are right and defend your sanity. But remember the gray shadow. You don't send screenshots. You simply reply, "Perhaps," and you walk away. You didn't admit you were wrong, but you completely refused to fight. You just dropped the rope in a tug of war. You hit send on that single word, "Perhaps." You put the phone down, and suddenly you feel a massive rush of power. You finally took control. You think the fight is over, and you can just go to sleep. But listen to me carefully. When you deploy these words, things are about to get much, much worse. I need to warn you right now. Do not celebrate yet. Because when you deploy the gray shadow tactic, things are about to get much, much worse before they get better. You are about to trigger something psychologists call an extinction burst. Think of a rat in a laboratory cage. If the rat presses a lever and gets a pellet of food every single time, it learns the game. But what happens if the scientist turns the machine off? When the rat presses the lever and gets no food, it doesn't just shrug and walk away. It starts frantically mashing that lever 100 times faster, desperately trying to force the machine to work again. The narcissist is the rat. Your emotional reaction was the food, and you just turned the entire machine completely off. Here is exactly what that extinction burst looks like. Stage 1. The love bomb text. They realize their passive-aggressive drama isn't working, so they suddenly pivot. Your phone lights up again, but this time the text says, "I'm sorry, I just miss you so much." They are dangling a sweet memory, hoping you drop your shield. If you reply warmly, you reward their manipulation. You're telling the rat that if they just press the lever differently, The food comes back. You reset the clock, and you lose. You must defeat the love bomb by staying completely gray. When they text you, "I miss you," you simply reply with, "Okay." When the love bomb fails, you enter stage 2. The vicious attack. The mask completely slips off. They realize you aren't falling for the sweet act, so they get desperate. They will attack your deepest insecurity, your parenting or your physical appearance. They are throwing a psychological grenade, begging for you to explode. It will hurt to read. But I need you to understand that this vicious attack is actually hard proof that the gray shadow is working perfectly. They are completely starving. You hold the line. You do not correct their insults. You simply hit them with, and watch them spiral. But if they are truly toxic, they will pull out their ultimate trap. Stage 3. The fake emergency. It's 2 a.m. and you get a text. "I'm having a panic attack. My chest hurts. Please help me." They are weaponizing your own empathy. They are betting that you won't ignore a medical emergency. This is where you execute the ultimate power move. You do not rush to their house. You do not call them in a panic. You respond exactly like a cold, detached 911 dispatcher. You type, "I recommend calling 911." And that is it. If it's a fake trap, you instantly disarm them. Now, let's look at the mirror effect. Let's look at what is happening on their end of the screen right now. The script has completely flipped. They are the ones sitting in the dark, frantically staring at the screen. They are sweating, confused, and obsessively rereading your one-word replies. The absolute power they used to hold over you has vanished into thin air. But look at what happens to your body. Because you didn't engage, your heart rate starts to slow down. That sick, twisting knot in your stomach completely unties itself. You finally close your eyes and fall asleep. There is an absolute law of power in human psychology. In any toxic relationship, the person who cares less controls the frame. By doing absolutely nothing, you just took the throne. You didn't yell. You didn't argue. By refusing to play the game, you became the one making the rules. Now the vampire faces a massive dilemma. They are completely starving. They have poked, prodded, insulted, and faked the emergencies. But the gray shadow gave them nothing. Biting a rock only breaks their teeth, and right now, they are sitting alone in the dark with a completely empty stomach. This leads to the ultimate victory, the migration. Because a narcissist physically cannot survive without an emotional reaction, they have no choice. They cannot stay attached to a host that provides no blood. They are forced by their own psychological design to pack up, give up on you, and migrate to find a new, easier target. Then it finally happens. You wake up one morning, the sun is shining, and you look at your phone. There are no texts, no missed calls, no passive-aggressive essays. The silence is deafening, and it is beautiful. The trap is completely empty. It wasn't an explosive fight. It was a quiet evacuation. You won. Now I know exactly what some of you are thinking. But what if I can't just ignore them? What if I have to co-parent with them? Or what if we work in the same office? That is a very real problem. But the gray shadow still works perfectly. You just have to make a slight adjustment to how you apply it. You adopt the business transaction mindset. Think of the most boring, unenthusiastic worker at the DMV. When you are forced to talk to the narcissist, you treat them exactly like a stranger at a counter. You stick to strict facts, yes or no answers, and zero personal details. Be polite, be professional, and be completely dead inside. Eventually, the spell is broken completely. You look at their message, and you feel absolutely nothing. Just pure, unbothered indifference. That is the moment you realize the ultimate truth. Their power over you was never real. They were just projecting a giant, scary shadow on the wall, and the entire illusion was powered by your reactions. And now, for those of you who stayed until the end, here is the ultimate psychological secret that will make you permanently immune to them. Listen closely. Every single rage text they send is not an attack on you. It is a desperate confession of their own weakness. They are literally admitting that they cannot regulate their own emotions without using you as a human pacifier. Once you see their anger as a pathetic weakness instead of a threat, they can never hurt you again. You took the lazy magic pill? You simply became impossibly boring, entirely predictable, and emotionally invisible. The gray shadow technique didn't just win the argument, it saved your sanity. If you have a vampire in your life right now, it is time to cut off their supply. Starve them out. Drop the word understood in the comments below if you are officially adopting the gray shadow today. Hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.